This is a video guide to accompany Jedge's written guide on how to easily defeat the 5-star Jirachi raid. A link to this written guide is in the description. Special thank you to Jedge for providing this guide to the rest of us. Jedge had the world first Darkrai 5-star clear and now has the world first Jirachi 5-star clear, an absolute legend. It is of note that since he cleared it the first time, they actually nerfed it so that Ancient Power was replaced with HP Rock, so there are no more random Omni Boost, making his initial achievement that much more impressive. And just like my own guides, there may be further improvements to the strategy, so make sure to check the comments and the actual written guide in the link to see if there are any. Let's get into it. We'll take a look at the mechanics again really quickly. They're almost identical to the Jirachi 4-star raid, with one key change that vastly changes the team comp. We have the 2 Doom Desires that go off at 100% and 75% going off on turn 2 and turn 3. We have the Protective Barrier again that you'll have to deal with around turn 4. And then Trick Room for turn 5 and onward. And the key change is the type inversion at 67%. So that makes it flips the type chart and makes immunities go away. So in this case, we're going to be looking at rock types and normal types, as well as psychic types to deal super effective damage to Jirachi. We'll do a brief overview of the full comp and then just get into the actual recording of Jedge beating it in a rerun, not the initial clear, so that we've got the updated strategy. First turn, we have Typhlosion, Alakazam, Whimsicott, and Ninetales. Ninetales obviously Setting Sun, Whimsicott Tailwind, Alakazam Gravity for the accuracy check moves that we do have to click, and then Typhlosion clicking Eruption for the Friend Guard Clefable on the left side. So you have to make sure that Typhlosion starts on the left, and thankfully we are able to change the link now order based on invite. So that was a really welcome hot fix added. Turn 2, we have full special defense, full HP invest, either Solar Power Charizard or Blaze Typhlosion, all carrying Assault Gear. We need 2 things that live the Doom Desire, the first being an Assault Gear user, and then for turn 3 will be Focus Sash users. Typhlosion does work in this slot because if it gets lowered to Blaze range, it'll do that much more damage. Probably a more economical option, though the one Typhlosion user will have to have this Charizard as they can't bring 2 Typhlosions. So that is the option. Regardless of whether you're using Charizard or Typhlosion, it will be Blast Burn being clicked. You need that high base power move. We don't care about the 90 accuracy because we have clicked Gravity already. Turn 3, we have the type inversion going off mid-turn. So everything here will still need Focus Sash in order to deal with the Doom Desire hitting this turn. We have 2 Porygon Zs clicking Hyper Beam. They need to be slower than the Heatran and Darmanitan going first. The Heatran is used in that slot in case there is, if there are damage rolls, you have that Heatran's option to either click Overheat or Flash Cannon, depending on what the HP check is. The boss is at about 72% or HP less, then you use Flash Cannon. But basically what you're doing is it's a Flare Blitz happens, then an Overheat or the Flash Cannon happens, and then 2 Hyper Beams go off, and then everything faints. On turn 4, we have Murkrow clicking Screech for the defense drop in order to break the Protective Barrier. The Protective Barrier doesn't actually go off until the first Archeops clicks Head Smash. So the Protective Barrier won't break until the following turn. We're okay with this because the Screech will last 2 turns. So basically we have 3 Head Smashes going off after the Prankster Screech goes off. Turn 5, we have the Trick Room will happen mid-turn. First is the Scarf Rampardos, clicking Head Smash. Trick Room will flip. And then Rhyperiors will be clicking Rock Wrecker with Choice Band, getting the boss down below 20%. And then the final part of the fight, you have Iron Ball, Gallades clicking Psycho Cut. Iron Ball, obviously, to allow for Gallade to be very slow under Trick Room, and Psycho Cut dealing massive damage. You won't need that extra damage boost to do 5% each. If the boss wasn't already under 20%, you obviously cannot do enough with the 5% damage cap. So make sure that you're under 20% at this point. And getting into the actual battle itself, so we can watch things happen and I'll kind of commentate as the things do. We have the Drought happening at the initial turn. So here we're going to have the Tailwind, the Ninetales clicking Overheat for the initial damage. Alakazam's clicking Gravity, that's itemless. And the Typhlosion clicking Eruption. Major key here that it's on the left side. It kills that Clefable, gets rid of Friend Guard. Also important that the Ninetales Overheat happens after that because the Friend Guard will otherwise boost its damage. That Typhlosion needs to be very weak as well. It needs to make sure that it faints, so it helps to have a frail Typhlosion here. Other than that, everything just gets taken out pretty easily. There's not much more to it, just the speed checks, and that's your turn 1 setup. Now, turn 2 is where we're seeing the more interesting build, where we have the HP and special defense invested Charizards. Jedge realized that Typhlosion can also work in this spot, which is welcome to many players that don't already have a Charizard here. You'll see that they need to live this Doom Desire. So Assault Vest plus Invest allows them to live that, and then click Blast Burn and still do damage cap. Again, the 90 accuracy on Blast Burn is not a problem because we have Gravity up for the first 5 turns. Typhlosion does work here, and like I mentioned earlier, one of the important things to note, though, is someone on turn 1 does need that Typhlosion, so someone has to have a Charizard in this slot, or something else if someone manages to figure out another Mon that works in this slot. But otherwise, pretty straightforward. 4 Charizards, we're just hitting damage cap as much as we can here, and then we're moving on to the turn 3, where we will have the type inversion happen. So that's where Porygon Z comes in. We were very, very bullish on Porygon Z coming into raids, and then they changed the super effective cap to being higher than just the regular damage cap. So everything here will have a sash. The thing to note is that the Heatran, depending on the HP, will have to pick a different move. So we'll see here. We flare blitzed, and then I believe it was an overheat. Yeah, so it was overheat. Didn't need to flash cannon, depending on the damage rolls initially. I think it's 72%. Read the document, check there, use that as a reference. That will change, but the hyper beams are always the same. It will push somewhere around that turn 3 Pokemon 2 point, where that's where that Heatran comes in. So make sure your speed tiers are good. You've got the Darmanitans following, or you get Darmanitan singular with the Heatran following, and then the 2 Porygon Zs. That may require some EV changes and tweaking. Moving on to turn 4, here you'll see we have the Murkrow leading Screech, and then we have the Head Smash Archeops. If you don't already have one of these, they're great. Head Smash is an egg move if you're breeding it, so be careful of that. Very frustrating to breed that and not have it. The major key here, this is kind of a difference from the Jirachi 4-star raid. You could get away with the Screech ahead of this. The Screech going on this turn allows more flexibility in the following turn using the Rhyperior or other Pokemon that will do damage cap. So he picked Rhyperior. There may be other Pokemon, because the -2 defense, that they're able to hit damage cap in that slow Trick Room turn that we're about to see, or Trick Room that'll happen mid-turn. First, we have the Scarf Rampardos clicking Head Smash, another wonderful Head Smash user. So the Head Smash will go off, then Trick Room will be procced, and then we will have Rock Wrecker being clicked by all of the Rhyperiors. Again, all of these low accuracy moves we don't care about. Gravity is improving our accuracy a tremendous amount, so that we cannot miss, and we are clicking very high damage with chance to miss moves without that worry. So we've got the Rock Wreckers going off. And then finally, we will have the 4 Gallades in the last turn for a clean sweep. Very, very clean strategy. Obviously, it's much cleaner now that we don't have to deal with the ancient power boosts. Otherwise, it's very inconsistent. That was probably welcome by most players to not have to deal with that Omni Boost RNG. Gallade having Psycho Cut, full accuracy as that final move means we don't need Gravity on that final turn. That's why we're saving Gallade for last. And it's carrying Iron Ball, so you don't have to tweak your EVs. So again, thank you very much to Jedge for this, especially for allowing me to spectate one of the reclears so that we could get a video guide to accompany this. I'm frequently told that it's very welcome to have the video guides in addition to the written guides, just for people that need to see things happen. I do like to see it myself. I think that's why I test so much. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I will relay them probably to Jedge, because I am not an authority on the subject. Otherwise, check out Pat's Discord. There are people working on other strategies as well that may be more budget friendly. Who knows? You can start to mix and match. You'll see that it's kind of a pretty straightforward approach. If you're hitting damage cap, things may tweak. be tweaked here or there, but otherwise it's a very kind of just straightforward burn down the boss once you've gotten that that sequence down pat. And if you've got a link together that's doing it, it should be a pretty straightforward clear. So other than that, thank you very much. Good luck with the Jirachi 5-star raid and have a good one.